Hi there, my name's Terry Williams. I am a small farm planner and I'd like to help you with your small farm planning. So this is just a quick introduction to what's called the 9-step planning process. This is used often with the Natural Resources Conservation Service and other federal and state programs. I don't think it's the ideal method of planning, but what we're going to do in this class is we're going to throw a lot of other things in. So we're going to use the 9-step process as sort of a framework within which to put these other components that will help us do even more sustainable, beautiful, practical kinds of improvements on your property. So in the 9-step process, there are, of course, 9 steps. So let's go over those really quickly. Step 1 is identifying problems and opportunities. So oftentimes when you want to make a change, it's because something has gone wrong, or you see an opportunity to do something better or different than you did before. So that's step number 1, identifying your problems and your opportunities. That sounds easy because it just comes up, but as we'll see with the planning process, that might not be quite as easy as it sounds, but we'll go over ways to do that step later. So number 2 is determining your objectives. Now, your objectives can be things like improving my income on my farm, or improving the soil quality on my farm, or those kinds of bigger picture kinds of objectives, okay? Those are the underlying bigger picture items that these smaller projects fit into. Okay, so we're going to determine our big picture objectives. Number 3, we're going to inventory our resources. What do we have? What can we use to try to improve the situation? We might have money, we might have tools, we might have skills and knowledge, we might have neighbors, we might have I don't know, some kind of resources on the farm. We might have trees that we could use for lumber. We're going to just take an inventory of what those are. At this point, we're not going to try to fit them into the picture. We're just going to list them all, okay? And that's all the resources that we might have. The air, the water, the soil, the animal life, all the different resources that we might have. And in step 4, we're going to analyze our resource data. So say that we've gone and done a little survey of all the water on the property, where it's coming from, where it's going to, and what purposes we want to put it to. Then we're going to take a close look at each piece, and we're going to say, what do we know about it already? How could we potentially use this? What different purposes could it be put to? Where could some new sources come from? Okay, we're going to analyze that resource data. In step 5, we're going to formulate some alternatives. We're going to try to start fitting these resources into an actual solution. So we're going to formulate several different ways that we can reach the objective. We can fix the problem, okay? So 5 is formulating several different alternatives. In step 6, we're going to evaluate those alternatives. We're going to decide which ones are better, which ones do we have more resources to accomplish, which ones might we need help with, which ones could we find some more resources to put to them, which ones are better than the others, which ones fit in with our plan better. That's step 6. In step 7, we're going to make decisions. So basically we've split that. Like normally if I was just going to make a decision, when I'm evaluating my alternatives, I'm going to naturally be kind of ranking them against each other and putting one over another one, right? But in step 7, we're actually going to make the decision. Here's the one we're going to choose. These are the reasons why. This is why it will work best for us. Sometimes when you make these decisions, you have other people or other agencies that are involved in that decision that have an influence over how it turns out and what kind of decision you make. So this is the point at which we're really kind of making sure that it's working for everyone that's involved. Step 8 is implementing the plan, actually doing the thing. Okay, digging the ditches, putting in the fence posts, building the barn, whatever it is. That's implementation, and that seems like the biggest step. And frankly, it's probably the one that will take the most time. But that's actually step 8. And then you would think you would be done, right? What's the end of after you actually do the thing? Well, then you want to kind of evaluate it. You want to go back and say, is it working? Did it achieve the objectives that we were trying to achieve? Did it do the thing it was supposed to do? Did it get built to the specifications, first of all? So one side is, did it get implemented correctly? And the other side is, did it serve the purpose? Did it do the thing that it was supposed to do? And that may take some years, actually, to evaluate. And then after step 9, what we do is we kind of go back and say, okay, is it working? And if it's not, then we go back to step 1. And we start again, and we look through all those different pieces once again. So our steps again: identifying problems and opportunities, determining objectives, inventorying our resources, analyzing our resource data, formulating alternatives, evaluating the alternatives, making decisions, implementing the plan, and evaluating the plan. So that's the 9 steps of planning. Now, if you're working with a government agency, they will be using this planning process. They'll be using these 9 steps, and they may talk about them in those terms, and it helps to know what they're talking about. If they're helping you to accomplish the goals, if they're giving you resources with which to accomplish the goals, they will be speaking in these terms. Now, that's a very simple 9-step plan on the surface, but it is a lot deeper than that. So we're going to go into those steps one at a time. We're going to flesh them out. We're going to add some information and some data and some ways to accomplish those different steps in a course that I'm putting together called Small Farm Planning. And that course will be available to you at a future date. So just stay tuned. If you'd like to sign up for my email list and get notifications about things that are coming up and classes and pieces of the puzzle that will be released over time, let me know. There's a link down in the comments, and we'll see you another time, hopefully soon. Great to work with you, and we'll see you later. Love you, bye!